welcome to Bitstorm, a comedy game design podcast by two guys who know nothing about comedy nor game design. I'm Ben Slinger, and with me, as always, is Trevor Scott.
Hello.
Hello. And also with us again this week is our fancy new Discord bot to get us some weird and wonderful random words. You might have heard it last week.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So in something that we're calling Click Pitchy, because it can give us some weird shit.
Get a little bit pitchy, bit flat, bit sharp.
Yep. Ben, would you like to click me some pictures?
Yeah, let's do it. We're going to do some video games. So I have Untied Honey Eater.
Mm.
Now, honey eater being a bird, a type of bird.
Oh, okay.
An Australasian bird.
Oh, we live in Australasia.
With tongue and bill adapted for extracting nectar.
Ooh.
So yes, a little bit like a hummingbird sort of thing. It has a long beak.
And it's untied in some way.
Yeah, untied. Untied from monogamy. It's in an open relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Untied from the ship. It's out to sea.
Yeah. From
the I don't know. Maybe you use your tongue to tie around things.
So I've been watching
Yoshi going.
I've been watching a bit of Longhead on Grass House, and I'm just picturing like this long tongue that just goes around. It's like prehensile, kind of like the game that they're about to release, which is My Arms Are Really, Really Long, or whatever it is.
Yeah, my arms are longer now, I think is what it's called. Yeah, looking for it.
But just the idea of like a tongue that just starts going out.
Just like wrapping around things.
But it's like
exploring.
I'm just imagining like, ooh, I tasted that. I didn't like that, because it's still... It can actually taste, and so you'll be careful as to where you're taking it.
All right, I like that. Here's sort of my pitch on it, or my take on it is, yes, literally it starts out and you're this bird and you want to taste something, so your tongue comes out, and it keeps coming out, and now you're guiding it as the player. You're guiding the direction of this tongue, and it will just keep coming. It can wrap around things. You can then use that to grab things, and you've kind of got some level of control of sort of, like the last few segments or I don't know exactly how you'd have to work on the physics of it. Perhaps you can retract it to a certain degree, and then it almost just becomes this trek across. I'm sort of picturing it side scrolling in 2D-ish sort of thing, of the tip of this tongue across the whole landscape.
It's just a puzzle game. All you're trying to do is get the tongue in the nectar, but the thing is, there's lots of bad tasting things along the way.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think you add some humor to it. Then, right? You've got characters. It's like I'm almost picturing a bit like
you tasted Derek.
Yeah, that's an achievement.
Derek tasted nice.
You run into some creepy wombat who thinks you're trying to make out with it, and so its own tongue starts coming out and wrapping around your own until you stop it with something.
You tasted old gum. It still tasted a little bit of mint.
That's it. I like that. Like having little descriptions for everything that you taste. It's almost a collectathon then as well, except it's how many different things in this world that we've populated can you taste. But also, yes, you're having to I need my tongue to go through there, so I have to pull the lever over here or whatever. I'm picturing it a bit like... kind of like My Arms Are Longer Now, I think, has an aspect of that. Sort of just with, you have these little characters reacting to it and stuff. But also, what was that one, that very British one that came out? Shit. Thank you for, no, what was it called? Do you know the one I'm talking about? Where you're the little guy and all you can, your only literal verb in that is to slap things. And it's just got these very British or Welsh or something like character. Anyway, I'm sort of picturing that sort of thing where, you run into these characters and they'll just be like, oh, hello, like a tongue, it doesn't feel that weird to them that there's just a tongue coming around, but they'll have a little something to say, and maybe you have to get them something for them to open the door.
Oh, hello there. Would you like me to hold the door for you?
Yeah, that's it.
And then it closes on the tongue.
But that's just actually that happens a lot. That's a checkpoint. It just means you can now no longer retract the tongue past that point in the game. It's whenever something slams down on it.
But for some reason, it can continue.
Oh yeah,
because it's just adding to the end of the tongue.
Yeah, we're not actually like making it logical. I love that. I feel like that's a game that would go down well.
And I love the idea that you can sort of try to tie yourself up in a knot, but then like it always just goes and
yeah. And I mean, I think again, like I was thinking 2D side scrolling. You could maybe do it more 3D-ish, and have sort of different axes then that you can move it on in some way. That may get a bit complicated, but if you're doing it 2D, you almost can't tie it up in a knot anyway. Because there's sort of no concept of going through the hole that you've made then. Even if you can overlap yourself a bit, it just, it like unravels. So,
it's kind of like Snake, but it never retracts. And so
you run into yourself. You can't taste yourself. If you taste your own tongue,
your brain gets all fucked up, and then like
it creates a paradox.
The cloister bell from the TARDIS goes off. Everything's red, and then reality breaks, and
it goes back to the last time your tongue was slammed in a door.
Exactly, that's exactly where it would go to.
Yeah. All right, Trevor, click me some pitchies.
46th, Alexander Porovich Borodin.
Okay. Why do those words API have the names of people?
He was a Russian composer from 1833 to 1887.
Okay. Oh, they only lived, 54 years? That's not wrong.
And he was obviously the 46th.
The 46th composer ever.
Or the 46th Alexander Porfirovich Borodin.
Can you imagine having a name that complex and you're the 46th
one?
All right. Again, I feel like this is sort of a bit of a tongue-in-cheek, character-driven sort of thing. Are you like someone who's really posh and uptight and so it's more, you're the butt of all the jokes in this game.
This is in the far future. Like, we're talking far, 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 far future. And all other 45 Alexander Borodins that have come before you are like, they've done amazing things.
Right. All of them.
All of them.
Yes.
Like, the first one was obviously a composer, and the next one cured cancer. So, I mean... And they're just the first two.
They're just the first two. It's only up from there.
So
somehow.
You've been the 46th one.
You've got all this pressure.
You now have this pressure that...
But you're also immensely rich from that legacy. So you're a fap. A fop. Not a fap.
Yes.
You do fap. That's a verb. You're a fop.
Too fap. Oh, good.
You're a fop who faps. No, but I think you are. It is very much that vibe of like, oh, you've reached like 21 years old or something, and you're like, you've had this life of luxury. You're completely out of touch with everyone, but you're like, oh shit, I need to live up to my name and do something amazing for the world.
All the other ones had achieved their goal by the time they were 22. Okay, had basically done their thing that was amazing. And the idea that you can find out something about all 45 of them.
Oh,
and sort of like throughout the game you collectathon.
Yeah, you talk to different people who had studied the 37th Alexander Borodin, whatever it is.
I just love the idea that there's like they're so popular that there's actually cards like that you can collect that are like, you got the
trading
40,
cards. Yeah.
41st one.
It's the latest it's a latest. But what's funny is that it's a collectible card thing, but they have, you know how cards will put out different sets or whatever. This is like the 7th set. Before that, it's all other people who shared the same name and did amazing things, but it's different names. So this is like pack 5.
So I think that there hasn't been an Alexander Porodin for a long time, and your parents decided, I think it's about time. You know, every time someone in our family is named this, amazing things happen, and we need something amazing right now because there's maybe something happening.
So there's a whole interesting thing you find out there about the history of when this family is allowed to name their kid Alexander, or like it's maybe not allowed, but like when there's social things, there's family sort of rules around it in a sense. And yes, they decided it was time for whatever reason, and they were very wrong, or at least up until this point it seemed so.
So I think that it's very much a bumbling sort of Roger Wilco-esque character in like an adventure game sort of thing.
I think it would be an adventure game-ish sort of thing. Again, you'd almost do a similar thing to I think it's Thank Goodness You're Here. Or no, anyway. The one I was talking about before, the Slappy game.
Okay,
just
so not Thank God You're Here, where you're going through a blue door.
I know. It is, it's literally called Thank Goodness You're Here. So it's very much like Thank God You're Here, the Australian improv show. In that sense of you've got a sort of almost a semi-open world, and you walk around and you talk to the different people, and you know, I guess it depends on, you know, maybe you don't go the full inventory-based puzzle sort of thing. It's more about simpler puzzles that you're solving, or like making your way through this world as you collect the things that you will eventually need to figure out what your greatness is. And then, maybe you have multiple endings of whether or not you manage to do it.
I mean, I think this is the thing that you need to do is obviously it's a massive world-ending thing that happens right on your 22nd birthday. And
and you stop it.
And you stop it through, you know, some sort of bumbling thing.
Right, okay. So you spent the whole game trying to figure out what your thing is, and in the end it's almost pure chance that you bumble your way through saving the universe from something you could never have predicted.
Something along those lines. And then
very non sequitur-ish sort of thing, but the game is about the journey, right?
I mean, what I love then is like just before the credits, you get a vision of the other Alexanders, except for the first one, and all of them just kind of stumbled across their thing, and they're like, the name's just lucky. It's like it's the council.
Except the first one because he was a composer, but the rest of them all just like didn't even try. They just were. They just like you. They had all the money in the world. They didn't need to do anything. And then it's actually like someone accidentally hexed them backwards or something. It's like you will always by your 22nd birthday do something.
Achieve your life's goal. But that is the problem. Like, you got nothing to live for after that.
Now, right. You look back and like 95% of the other Alexanders killed themselves by 25. They couldn't live anymore knowing they'd peaked. All right.
Hey, Ben, you want to click me some pitchies?
Yeah, sure. Online reshuffle.
Normal words? What are we talking about?
They don't know. Now, interestingly, the first definition is on a regular route of a railroad or bus or airline system for online. So reshuffling then sort of has a different meaning of like maybe this is around
you're reshuffling
routes and like.
Well, I'm thinking you're reshuffling the carriages of the train. Because
in real time, like as it's moving.
We accidentally, kind of hit all the characters got mixed up, and now you got to shuffle them again.
Or I just had an image. Do you know those Jacob's Ladder things where you flip the top and it goes click 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 click, and it's got the strings? Yeah. I'm just picturing you like pull out a carriage and it goes click 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 down to the end of the train until it's on. I don't know if that works, but just the image of that I find really amusing. Like, oh shit, no, it is about having them in the right order, but all you can do is kick one out and have it click 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 down to the end. That's weird. Okay. I mean, we don't have to do online. Could obviously just be the internet or whatever, or computers, as well. I mean, online reshuffle, it makes me think of card games, gambling. I suppose it's so broad. You could do any sort of card. There's all sorts of. I mean,
even
cards,
even when you think about, like what was that thing where it was like chat roulette, so you hit shuffle and it's like you go to the next one, because there's lots of different things that you can, lots of different people that you can end up talking to. So
a dating app that is actually just
it's all card based
person in your area.
It's all card based, and it's like, okay, I want to replace that card, and
okay, you get to choose. That's interesting. It's a dating app where you build your deck of cards as you date, or maybe you start off with a certain deck, and then before you get to talk to anyone, you have to play your cards in a game against them. It's like I play my terrible photo card,
and it makes them put up a terrible photo. Because you're basically
right, yeah. Oh, okay. Like unlocks parts of their profile. Almost.
Yeah.
Ooh, that could actually be good. Gamify dating even more.
Yeah. And it's like, you can have your little chats, but then it's like you've got like your trump cards that you can get them, and there's fun things like
obviously.
Pet peeves and fears, and terrible high school photo, and
and look, the creeps will still manage to creep. You just fucking
unfortunately creeps
hold them accountable.
But the thing is, I think this is one where you could actually, have one of those fun experiences of you now get to choose from your set of cards. It's like, okay, what's gonna really, you can even offer to do something yourself, like put a terrible photo or have to tell a terrible pun.
Well, and I think maybe you either get points or other cards or something by doing the things that like because you'll have people who they play the terrible high school photo card and they're like, I'm not going to do that, or
they post a photo that is like terrible. It's actually
quotes. Yeah.
It's actually them. With a slight little smudge on their cheek and they're looking sexy or something like that. That's my terrible photo. It's like not spirit of the game.
You can tell Trevor and I never really had to online date. I mean, I did a little, but that was really before the apps as such took off in a big way.
Let's just say I never online dated. No. I met my wife at my place of work many years ago, and that was just past 25 years ago.
Where I did meet my wife in online dating, but it was pre the phone apps and swiping and stuff. It was back in the plenty of fish in OkCupid days. So it was a little bit different back then, I think.
Okay, so should we clicky some pitchies again?
Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh, okay. Unconditioned Eindhoven.
What is that?
A city in southeastern Netherlands noted for electrical industry.
Ooh, okay. And unconditioned.
Yeah. Definitions being not conditional or not established by conditioning or learning.
I'm sort of thinking about almost this sounds funny to say because so much of our world runs on electricity.
Yeah.
But in the same way steampunk goes all out on steam powered stuff.
Yeah.
A world where it's sort of all out on almost like early electrical stuff. So not the modern kind of everything's, so you've got like your Tesla.
Well, I was thinking, what if this is a town that is, powered by Tesla's DC technology? So it doesn't have that alternating current. It's like this huge Tesla tower that's, arcing beams across to.
Yeah.
Like, there's something about that is just, it's like alternate reality, but with.
That's it.
Well, just and the way it works.
I'm just sort of picturing, it doing a kind of alternate future or alternate present of, what would our current kind of devices and different things, televisions and different stuff look like if they had this different sort of style and everything's electrical arcs and vacuum tubes.
You want to use your tablet, you got to get close to your home's Tesla tower.
Your home Tesla coil.
And it arcs across so that you can...
Yeah, well, my tablet needs to charge.
No, it's like it's the only way they work. That you
it's
have
the only way to run. There's no batteries.
There's no batteries. Yeah. It's only Tesla towers. Every house is connected by these massive Tesla towers that come
Actually, I do kind of love that of... Yeah, like you it's all right, pull my air fryer out of the cupboard and put it close to... Like, essentially everywhere people would have power points currently, they have these little mini...
Tesla towers that have to be line of sight to the next to the big one
that's on the that's on the air fryer.
Now the thing is, of course, you cannot cross the beam. You have to limbo under all of them.
So is it all? Are they all on the ceiling? Do ceilings just have this crisscrossing like arc of all the different things that are connected, and then like above your kitchen counter you have one. And then you've got these arcs coming down to all the appliances on your counter.
I love that you're just using your phone and it flicks from one to
the other next. To keep it powered.
It's got this little antenna
people are just constantly having like electric burns or something.
They're so used to it now. It's just like. And the constant noise of it going is like
everyone's ears are shot.
You're just used to it now. Like, I really like this.
I like that as a world. I like it as an aesthetic. Are you the person introducing AC power into this world where DC power now has been
not at all
taken to the nth degree?
I like the idea of this being, a smaller sort of story, low stakes story of a family or someone, preparing for the return of their son or something like that. Like just.
Well, now I'm thinking of like school. I'm thinking of all the kids at their desks with their laptops.
This middle Tesla tower that
just arcing out towards them all. Everyone has to sit in a circle.
Yeah.
Essentially, or maybe concentric
circles. And the teacher can't go anywhere near the center of it because they're too tall.
Yeah. There's been a weird side effect that most teachers are short these days.
And there's a weird side effect that glasses, they're actually all made of plastic because if they're made of metal, that's
interesting.
That's electricity straight into the brain.
A lot less metal used in like personal items. Yeah, no more belt buckles, no more even all your buttons and stuff. Yeah,
everything's all plastic.
It's non-conductive.
Yeah. There's something about that. There is something about that world and just, experiencing. You could even do something like a what's it called? Heavy Rain or something like that. Just a story of vignettes of these different characters, and it's telling a larger story of something that's actually going on in this town.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like this world, it does change certain things about how people interact with the world, but to them it's normal. Like this is just them living in a different, an alternate history essentially. I mean, and we've dramatized the how the technology could be used, but it's got its own internal consistency.
Yes,
and then we just tell a story within it.
Yeah, I love that. I really do.
Like it.
Do you want to go one more?
Yeah. Let's pedigree Ob. Ob is apparently the branch of medicine dealing with childbirth, so like an obstetrician.
Yeah.
It's also a major river in Western Siberia.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the two things.
Cool.
And I mean, I guess that makes sense then with pedigree, because that's sort of around, your bloodline, your ancestry.
Yeah. Yeah. Ooh. I'm
just
happy to take Ob as, like, we don't have to go down the obstetric.
Well, I just had an idea of some sort of game where you're swapping babies for some sort of vaccine.
No.
You're like
Jesus.
It is an obstetrics
it's not quite as bad as I thought it was going to be. That your entire thing is, this is some sort of adventure game or whatever, where your family's renowned for being amazing obstetrics,
right?
And most of the game is just helping women give birth.
Oh,
and you see it graphically.
Simulator. Yeah, very graphic. I know. I just love the idea of, like, in gameplay wise, just switching things around to achieve a result is very common. But to do that with people's children,
match 3,
the juxtaposition there, yeah. Well, that's you're swapping people's children for your own aesthetic purposes. It's like, oh no, I need to put this one in this bassinet because their hats match or whatever, and then someone goes home with the wrong child. So no, I don't think we'll take that. I mean, bloodline and ancestry, I think, we kind of did a bit of that with good old Alexander, but something there around your own ancestors, a bit of maybe like a bit of a national treasure-ish sort of thing, the classic adventure sort of story around, the artifact that your great-great-great-great-grandmother had buried next to her or whatever. Coffin that turns out is incredibly powerful.
I mean, we could always take, like, Ob to be, an alien sort of.
Yeah, good old Ob.
Yeah.
Is this the character? Or they? I feel like they're genderless.
Yeah, they are genderless.
The non-binary alien.
And yeah, there's something about, like,
and it
having some sort of pedigree, some sort of
great grandmother
swapped a baby,
and so Ob is actually not their descendant in the end.
God. I think we'll end it there.
All Obs look very similar. Okay, you can't blame me.
Well, they're all clones.
Yeah, it shouldn't have mattered.
Because, this whole line of alien... There hasn't been...
This whole species.
This whole species is...
one singular...
Yeah.
Yeah.
His name was Ob.
His name was Ob. Title is...
I immediately thought of fucking Fight Club.
Yes, I know.
His name was Robert Paulson.
Was Obbit Paulson. Right.
Thanks for bringing that up.
Thank you for joining us this week on Bitstorm. If you would like to find our previous episodes, go to podchaser.com/Bitstorm or Bitstormcast or Spotify or Pocket Cast or Castbox or Podcast Addict or there's a lot of them. Just look up some podcasts. Google Podcasts doesn't exist anymore because they're bloody useless, but
Apple Podcasts still exists. So if you've got Apple products, then do that.
Yeah, see, I don't, so I don't even think about that. But yes, look, that's one of the big ones. So yeah, check us out on any of those and shoot us a review where available or a rating or whatever.
Engage
with our content.
Reach out to us on Blue Sky. We're both on Blue Sky. Reach out to the podcast.
Yeah.
That's what we're there for. If you like no, of course not. We're introverts. If you like the song that we play at the start and end of each episode, that song is called Mount Defiance, and it's on the album Containment Failure by the band Kuradust that we were also two parts of. So Ben sang some songs, I played some bass, I slapped at the bass, and yeah, you can check it out. It's for free on kuradust.bandcamp.com.
That's all right. So thank you again for joining us this week on Bitstorm. I'm Ben Slinger.
I'm Trevor Scott.
And I'm Ob!